welcome. My name is Deborah Guthrie, and joining me today is Brandie Yates. She is the HOMTV Executive Producer of Programming. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
I have 3 things to say before we begin.
Okay.
1, happy 9th year anniversary.
Thank you.
That was last week. 2, happy birthday.
Thank you.
That is today. And 3, we're both changing our name to HOMTV.
Yes.
Everywhere we go, if we walk into a room, people don't say, "Hello, Brandie. Hello, Deborah." They say, "Hey, it's HOMTV.
HOMTV is here."
This morning I went to the doctor. "Hey, HOMTV."
I always like it. They're like, "I recognize you." Yes, I'm on HOMTV,
Yes,
local
HOMTV.
channel. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's where I know you from."
Yep.
Okay.
So it's beneficial to get out in the community. You've been here, 9th year anniversary.
Yes.
Your internship started at HOMTV when?
2007.
2007.
So that's not counted in the 9. The 9 is only on staff.
9 is only on staff, full-time staff, or does it include part-time?
It includes my part-time too for like
Okay.
half a year.
For half a year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, since that time, the program's blossomed and developed. HOMTV is now a division of the communications department.
Yes.
You've helped me restructure the whole thing. But you've also had a child
Yes, I have.
during this time.
Yes.
And so there's been some changes in your life, and since it's March is Women's History Month, I kind of want to talk about not only what it is that you do, but some of the challenges along the way, especially as you're now balancing mom and professional female in the workforce.
Okay, well.
So let's first talk about, what your position is.
Okay, so yeah, it's changed over 9 years. So communication specialist, and then internship coordinator, and then just recently executive producer just a couple years ago. And in a nutshell, I oversee the programming and the content that goes on the channel and on the website, social media, and I still oversee the interns and their career development, their storytelling, and with other staff members here as well. But the assignments they do and the news stories they do, and I oversee a lot.
So when you started here, what was it that you wanted to go into when you first started this industry? Was it a TV reporter?
Yes. So I went to MSU for journalism. I always loved to write. I didn't know I wanted to be in TV until I got to MSU. So like I was on the newspaper in high school and that kind of thing. I just kind of fell in love with it, and this was my first experience. So HOMTV internship is basically what got me into video. And yeah, my dream job was to be on Good Morning America. I didn't care how early I had to wake up.
Now you do. No,
yes, I do. Yes, with a child, yeah, that has changed.
You're like, bust that. Just kidding.
Yeah, so, I mean, I still do journalistic. I have to fact check the intern stories, and I just really like working with people. So as a producer, you schedule a lot, you work with a lot of people in the community, and we want to feature you on this show and work with the interns on developing those skills. So, yeah, it's a lot. But as an executive producer in a leadership role now, it's... you're always thinking about how to move us forward. And I know that's something that you've always taught me, like, don't just rest on what we're good at, like, just keep going forward. So we're looking at new endeavors for HOMTV, and as funding issues happen, we're looking at different ways to reinvent ourselves.
What are some of the, over your years being here, what are some of the programs that stand out in your mind?
Just in general?
In general, or particular community partners that you've worked with that stand out in your mind?
Well, so starting as an intern, I became a paid intern. Senior living has always been my baby. Like, I always loved that program. And starting out as an intern, I shot, edited, hosted, and did everything for that show.
Produced the show, wrote it, everything.
Yes, and so seeing that where it is today with having seniors host it, and
working with the senior center now.
Yes, and 2 hosts. They brought way new life to that show.
Yeah.
That I could not imagine.
They said we were boring.
They
Do you
did.
remember? They said we were boring. They said we need to produce this show. You guys are boring, and it is. It's way better now.
It's way better,
Yeah.
yes. But it's great because I always bump into people and their new roles. But I remember interviewing them as an intern or being on senior living. So like the Alzheimer's Association and Parkinson's Foundation, like I've done many, many stories, and we continue to partner with them, and then we always find new partners, and it's exciting. There's a lot of exciting organizations and people in the community that there's just so many more ideas that we have for programming.
Two of our community members who stand out in my mind are Mike Nevels
Yes.
and Shane Goodale. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that relationship started and how it's grown?
Well, both unfortunately was in tragedy in their own situation. Mike Nevels, as an intern, I reported on the death of his son in front of Okemos High School. So we did a 3-part series of Okemos Road getting the speed limit reduced and the visuals that were for his son. And so that is really where I met him. And now he's on the Communications Commission, and he's just been an advocate of what we do. He also does work with the Masons, and so the Bike for Books program, we've covered that in the past too.
And how much has, do you recall, he does fundraising, how much has the Adam Nevels?
Oh my gosh, you would ask me that.
Memorial.
I don't know, but they've expanded. They did a wrestling tournament, they do the golf tournament, they do all kinds of sports that are related to what his son's passion was. And that's similar to Shane Goodale. His young boy, Will, passed away, and we've covered that since the beginning. Such tragic stories have kind of developed these relationships and kind of brand advocates and ambassadors for HOMTV and the relationships we've built.
What does having community partners and community organizations that you work with mean to you?
You get to really know the people. And I mean, we're developing a new relationship now with a chance to dance at Okemos High School, and dance is one of my passions. So working with students who have disabilities and teaching them how to dance. So that's a new relationship, and just telling people stories. I mean, it means a lot. And just traditional news, they just don't have the staff or the time to do it. I mean, I know we're stretched thin too, but it's really about the community and building that relationship.
And now you're also telling stories in Mandarin.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So that's something HOMTV we've talked about in the past, but having a large Mandarin speaking population and having so many international students come through our internship program. We've done it before, but not in Mandarin. We've had a Spanish newscast as like a pilot, and it's just so cool to watch. Our former intern alumni member came back translating scripts. She's incredible. Like I could not imagine doing this in another language, but it just shows that we are hoping to serve our community better, because there's a lot of international professors and students and families who live in Meridian Township. We're hoping to reach them in different ways.
And do you work with an outside organization for those scripts? And
the Greater Lansing Chinese Association, we're working with them. They kind of helped us make sure that the translations were correct and that we weren't missing anything for fact checking. They haven't been doing it as much as we are going, but we are going to meet with them and talk about some sponsorship and partnership. And the alumni member that we're working with on this show, she is a part of different organizations at MSU campus and knows people. So we're hoping to expand. I would love to see a whole crew in Mandarin, director, teleprompter operator, all of it, because there's people out there, and I think they'd be really interested, and it would just show how much more we can immerse people into media and news in their native language.
Let's talk about some of the female interns who have gone through the program that you've worked with. You've seen them blossom in their career endeavors and had to let them go like a
yes,
like an empty nester almost. What are some of the female interns who stand out in your mind for the success that they're currently having in the industry that you've worked with?
Oh my gosh, there's a lot. I was looking at old pictures. I get Throwback Thursday pictures on my Facebook all the time. Audrey Dahlgren, I used to anchor the news show with her, and she was a sports reporter, like just starting out. She's grown, she's obviously back locally, but she's grown so much as a sports reporter. Alexandra Illich, I just saw that she has her own like website now. She's doing some investigative journalism. She was a former Channel 6 anchor and reporter.
She followed the whole Nassar case. Did
Yes.
a phenomenal job.
Yes, she did. So she shared a story, and I clicked on it, and it's her own website. That's great for her to come up with new endeavors for herself. And then one of my close friends, Morgan Hall, she and her husband started a video production company, and they're doing travel segments with their 2 boys. And I'm thinking, man, I should be an adoptive child of theirs, or they're putting me to shame with what I'm not doing with my daughter. But she's like, come on, join us. And so it's and those are just a few that come to the top of my head, but it's great to see where they end up and where they go. We have anchors, reporters, Molly O'Keefe, she's at the Ellen show in California, and it's great to see them follow their dreams.
Now, do you see yourself as a mentor for the females who go through this program?
I try to mentor everyone, but yes, I think it's really important to see women in media, in television and communications, and I think they see how successful different alumni members and staff members here who are women in media, and I hope we're mentoring them to strive for that, which I think it'd be interesting to look at our alumni network to compare the men to women ratio. I don't think we've ever done that before, but to see where they go. And
yeah, because sometimes you would have several females come through, or several males come through, or a balance of each.
Yes.
It just was weird how the semester would turn out.
I think we have more reporters who are women than men, but I can't say that now because we do have 2 male reporters right now in anchoring and stuff, so, or 3 actually.
Have you seen a change over time in how you mentor interns? Has that changed at all, or is it pretty much kind of the same? Because you were a cheerleader in high school.
Yes.
You kind of have to be a rah-rah person to be a mentor.
Yes.
You know, but you also have a firm hand like a mom.
Yes. The thing is, I don't think so, but I mean, obviously I've matured over the years, but I think I was a mom to the interns before I became an actual mother. So my daughter has no chance in getting away with anything, because I could always hear interns down the hall and be like, no, that's actually not right. Wait, did you mean to say this? And they're like, oh, Brandie's got ears like all over the place. And I was like, those are the mom ears working.
Right.
But yeah, so
she tunes me out though, by the way. I just want to let you know.
I don't think I do that. But yeah, I felt like the interns were like my little kids, and now that I have a daughter, I mean, it doesn't feel like it's changed, but
how has that transition been for you, going from not being a mom at home in your home personal life to now being a mom? What have been some of the challenges in balancing work and home?
Well, let me tell you, when you have a child, and I'm sure all the moms can tell you, you don't get a lot of sleep anymore.
Yeah. And
you have to really build in time for yourself. Like I need to start working out again, but you're so tired all the time. But in your it changed a little bit. Like, I'm a workaholic, and I think I still kind of am, but it's like, oh, got to get home to my baby now. So
no more lingering around.
Yes.
Like before.
Things can wait.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think that's the biggest change.
Do you think your daughter will see you in your role that you have as
oh my gosh,
female?
Deborah, don't make me cry.
As a female, it's okay, I have tissue. Do you think she will look at you and look at what my mom's done? She's a female leader and mentoring all these other young women.
Pete.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I hope so. And I think so.
It's good.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. It's all right. It's you know, it's one of those things you don't really think about until you have a conversation with someone, then you start reflecting, you know, especially when you're not a mom and then you become a mom, and you start reflecting on how much of a mentor you are to this little young person. And Emberly's so adorable.
Thank you.
How much of a mentor, and how everything you do in your life is really influencing, you know, your young child, you know, or your children, you know. And I just babysat my grandkids over the weekend, and you're very conscious of everything that you're doing. And I have to make sure, because I'll skip meals, but when my grandchildren are over, I'm sitting down and I'm going to eat a hot dog, even though I don't eat hot dogs. I'm going to eat a hot dog to make sure that they have some calories in them and eat a hot dog.
Yeah, they're always watching, and my daughter's starting to talk now, so you really have to watch what you're saying.
Isn't that
because she's like a little parrot and repeating. But yeah, like promoting professionalism, like, oh my gosh, I keep crying.
It's okay. We'll get a tissue for you.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
Roy.
Deborah. Thank you so much. I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, they're always watching, and they're like little sponges. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't gonna cry on camera.
It's okay. So, so you did dance a lot, and you did cheerleading a lot.
Yes.
Do you think that's something that you'll?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I don't even have to ask the question.
No.
Automatically.
Yes.
She's gonna be into dance, and this could be a great mommy-daughter type of opportunity.
It's like one of those
bonding.
dreams, like, I want to be a dance instructor or a coach. Maybe when my daughter gets there, maybe that will be the time. So.
What have been, we have 4 female directors. I think Meridian Township has 13 directors. 4 of them are female. We have some union groups in the township. You are in the supervisory category union group.
Yes.
Of the staff member who is in the supervisory category, you are one of two
Yes.
females who are in the supervisory category.
Yes.
What have been, I asked you some of your challenges balancing work and professional life and being a mentor. Have you had challenges as a female in supervisory role, or do you think they're basically the same as what you think men have faced as well?
I mean,
aside from it takes longer to do your hair and
having to wear makeup,
you have to put makeup on because you're going in front of a camera. We get that,
I think just with what's happening in news with gender equality and equal pay, I think that's always an issue. And I mean, Meridian Township's pretty receptive of hiring diverse and gender. It doesn't really matter, but when you look at the numbers, it's astonishing that there's still an issue, that it, not locally and across the country. So, yeah, I mean, everyone has those challenges, and then it's like preconceived notions of like, oh, well, we can't hire her because she's gonna cry on camera or something like that. But no, I mean, nationwide, I mean, there's still an issue. I mean, we kind of saw that in the political realm of a first female president that potentially could have happened. So I think talking about women's history, there's still a lot of work to do. So I don't feel it internally as much, but there is a problem.
And being a producer of programming, you've seen a lot of changes politically with all the election coverage that you've done and stories that you've reported on. And in your programming, have you recognized changes and decisions that you've made in regards to expanding who's on the programs and making sure that there's more inclusive and more diverse?
Absolutely. I mean, I was just looking at a show, and one of our producers set up our open line program, and it was about wages and equal wages, and I'm looking up at the program going, there is not a female panelist on this panel. That was not a good decision.
It would have been nice to hear from a female.
Yes. And so you're definitely more conscious of that. And so, and then just diversity in general, just looking at our internship pool and looking at who we're going to invite on a program or not. I think we're pretty diverse and pretty inclusive for HOMTV in our programs, but you do have to think about that. And then with elections, we did a whole series about females in politics, and that there's a surge of women coming up to being political leaders. So we did follow that as well for our last election coverage. But yeah, you're definitely more conscious of who you put on camera and who you ask to be a part of a program, and be more transparent to make sure that you know that your audience knows that you've tried to get other groups in front of the camera. It's really important to show that.
What's next for HOMTV?
Oh my gosh. I have a lot of ideas. I just actually attended a training workshop about 360 video and VR experiences, and I'm like, okay, I'm like ready to buy a 360 camera right now. There's just so many with new technologies we want to
quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's new technologies, and we got to keep up with the training that we do here so that it's attractive for interns to be in our program, and also just the community. So the Mandarin News show is a step in that direction, but there's so many opportunities, and people consume media so differently now.
Yeah.
And social media and all of that. So yeah, I'm looking to work with the staff on expanding to maybe some 360 video and working with different partners. And like I said, as funding continues to be an issue, reinventing ourselves, being the media and technology experts, and kind of reframe where we're going to make sure we stay relevant and are serving the needs of the community.
Well, we don't need this show 360.
No, we don't.
And we can soft focus it.
Yes.
For as long as possible.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Anything else you want to add, or any words of wisdom for females who are starting their career out in the journalism industry?
Get an internship, and I would say HOMTV, obviously. No, it's just follow your passion. It's not too small. It's not too big. So
keep
dream big and keep following your passion and try different things. You might be surprised at what you might like better.
So true. That's so true. I started off as a journalist, and I didn't really like, although I am in front of the camera, I didn't really like being in front of the camera. I really wanted to produce shows, and so I just tried it. You know?
You never know.
You never know, and I love doing that too, you know? So it's some good advice.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to
No, I was just going to say, it was like when 9 years ago when I got hired, and you're like, Brandie, I'm going to have you create the Meridian Township social media accounts. And I was like, what is she talking about? Like, is this a made-up position? I don't know what I'm doing.
And I said, yes.
Yes, it is.
We need to be on social media, and you're at nose goes.
So I did the research, and you know what? I really like social media marketing and creating a communications department, and all there is. I'm like, yeah, I know how to write a press release. I didn't know that that's something I would be doing from time to time as I was getting started in my career. So it's like, it makes you feel confident that you know the different skills that you would need.
Yeah, the expansion here has been amazing.
Yeah.
For certain.
Yes.
Well, we're glad you're on board.
Well, thank you.
You're on board.
Yes.
Happy anniversary again.
Thank you.
Happy birthday again. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for watching.